What's going on, everybody? Chase here on Aftershock Videos for everything music, Yu-Gi-Oh, and gaming. And you ever gone through your collections and try to see these? You just seen these cards and you're just like, what could I possibly do with them? And they just kind of been sitting there, just looking pretty. Well, I have, and lately that has been the Fossil Warriors. Now, if anybody who doesn't know what these are, or haven't seen them before, or even heard of them, they are a fusion concept, rock dinosaur looking just concept, and I believe they came out of the Battle of Legends Armageddon set. So I decided to go on Nexus and see what I can do with these, see if I can make them pretty playable, or even, not necessarily competitive, but fun. So we're gonna go ahead and go on Dueling Nexus and see what I can build. Here we are once again on Dueling Nexus, and I think I have made this with somewhat pretty decent synergy. Like I said, it's not super competitive, but if anything, these are some cards that you may have had sitting around and maybe thought about doing something with them. So here's what we're going to do, and here's what I came up with. First, I have two Primeval Congregates. This one says it cannot be some normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by a card effect. If a monster is sent from your opponent's hand or deck to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand and face down to defense position. And if this card is flipped face up, you can target two cards in the field, destroy them. Again, this is a card I've seen in my binder plenty of times. Never had a chance to play it. This might be the chance. I got two Gamma Seals. So basically two Kaijus. Just to go over any problematic monsters. I'm running three Chronomaly Mayo Carriers. And basically this is the Cyber Dragon of the Rocks. If your opponent controls no cards and you control no... Or if your opponent controls a card and you control no cards. Not monsters or just spells and traps. If your opponent controls a card. So if going second is not a big deal with this. But you can special summon this card from your hand. So I got three of those. This is another secret rare that came out of that set that I had no idea how to play with it. And this made its way into there. Three copies of the Weathering Soldier. What is it called? The Weathering Soldier. And, hey, put that back. Where did it go? So we got triple copies of Weathering Soldier. It says if this card is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one Fossil Fusion or one card that specifically lists Fossil Fusion in its text, except Weathering Soldier, from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, this card loses 600 attack, which is not bad for one turn or just using it for fusion, link fodder, any of that stuff. We got triple copies of Mathematician, and this was ran plenty of times in most Shadell decks. When this card is normal summon, you can send one level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. So plays in with Weathering Soldier and also plays in with Sentry Soldier. You'll see. And then you can draw one when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. You get to draw a card, which is pretty cool. Then you have Sentry Soldier of Stone. I believe this one came out of the movie packs, the MPV one. If all monsters you control are rock-type monsters, minimum of one, while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. So that's pretty good. It's free. You can tribute it off. If you normal summon it, you can tribute it off for whatever you need, and then when it's in the graveyard, you get special summoned. Pretty cool. Now, I only have two of these in here, but you can do more than one if you want. More than two if you want. This is just my version of it. Got two copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. Next, we have three copies of Nemesis's Keystone. Now this one can play into your graveyard or your banishment. You can target one of your banished monsters, except itself, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. During the end phase, if this card is currently banished and was banished this turn, you can add this card to your hand. So if you have to activate a banishing effect and you want that monster back, special summon, the card gets special summoned. And then you get to add that back to add the banished monster back to wherever it was. And it's also a rock, so it goes into the fodder of the rest of the extra deck. One Effect Veiler, just to deal with any shenanigans. Instant Fusion. Now, interesting enough, I did not see a reason for this until I remembered Panzer Dragon. There's not a lot of negates specifically for this archetype, so playing into the fusions and the fusion spells Instant fusion could totally get Panzer on the field. And then I believe it just says if it's destroyed. Yeah. So obviously when a fusion monster is summoned by this, it gets destroyed. And Panzer Dragon, when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy one card on the field. 2 Lightning Storms, just in case. 2 Miracle Ruptures. I was running 3, but 3 seemed a little excessive. This lets you send, it's basically our Foolish Burial for rocks. You send 1 level 4 lower rock monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if Fossil Fusion is in your graveyard, you get to draw 1 card. So 2 of those. 1 extra Foolish Burial. There was 2 in the beginning, but one seems plenty. Don't want to keep losing your life points. Pay half your life points. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. And you can only activate this once per turn. 3 Fusion Fossils. This is what plays into your Fusion Fossil Warrior monsters. You get to summon one Fossil Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from any graveyards. Any graveyards. That is cool. And I believe if you banished monsters from both graveyards, neither player can target that special summon monster with monster effects. So it gets a little bit of protection there. If a face-up Fossil Fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. Very, very good recycling synergy. Running 1 Sorcerer of Revealing Light, again, just in case. Whenever I say just in case, that's just worst case scenario. You draw bad cards. Again, not a competitive deck, never claimed for it to be. This is just for fun. But I also want it to be a pain in the butt. So, one of those. Foolish Burial, just to get play into the Weathering Soldier to help you get that Fossil Fusion into your hand. Monster Reborn, just to bring back anything that wasn't supposed to be sent there. 1 Time Stream. This is another one that was in the Battle of Legends Armageddon set. It says target 1 Fossil Fusion monster you control, tribute it. And if you do, special summon 1 Fossil Fusion monster from your extra deck whose original level is 2 higher than that monster's. So basically like a rank up for your Fossil Fusion monsters. During the main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and add one Fossil Fusion monster from your graveyard. Then target 1 Fossil Fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So again, it plays dibbles a little bit into the banishing, so that's something you really got to consider, but it does play off in the end. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Twin Twisters, 1 Infinite Impermanence, Mirror Force, and 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, just in case. Now, getting into the extra deck, we have, I'm doing 2 of each. Thank you. We have the first Fossil Fusion monster, Fossil Dragon Skullgios. Now this one is a level, I believe it's a level 8, and it's 3,500 attack, 0 defense, 1 rock monster, plus 1 level 7 or higher monster in your opponent's graveyard. So this is perfect for Dark Magicians, Red Eyes, get a free fusion material. I mean, that's pretty cool. Before damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can switch the current attack and defense of that opponent's monster until the end of the damage step. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict battle-piercing damage. If this fusion summon card battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. So if you can get this bad boy on the field, you're looking pretty good. Double copies of Fossil Warrior Skull King. It is a level 8, I believe. And take 1 rock monster and 1 level 7 or higher monster. Must be fusion summoned with a Fossil Fusion. If this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon that monster. Pretty cool. Next we have, I believe it is Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. It is a level 6, so this does play into with the time stream, so you can go into the Skullgios. It takes 1 rock monster, 1 level 5 or 6 monster. If this attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. When this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack in a row. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. So that is also very cool. And like I said before, the one Panzer Dragon for your instant fusion, one destruction. Then we have next one, 2 Fossil Dragon Skullgars. And Skullgar is so far the easiest one to bring out. And I believe it takes 1 level 4 or lower monster in your opponent's graveyard, and 1 rock monster. Must be special summoned by Fossil Fusion. If this card attacks a defense position monster, again, battle piercing damage, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Fossil Fusion from your deck to your hand. So that kind of helps get things rolling. Now, since we do have some tuners, we do have Borrelord Savage Dragon. We also have this one, which came reprinted in the 2020 tins. Gallant Granite, 2 level 4 monsters. So if you're able to get 2 weathering soldiers, basically what this does, you can detach 1 material from this card and activate one of these effects. Add 1 rock monster from your deck to your hand. Also pretty cool. Special summon 1 rock monster from your hand in defense position. It just helps get stuff on the field. Plus it's a 23 attack beater, not bad. 1 Borrelord Savage Dragon. Boral Sword Dragon, sorry. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. And 1 Crystron Halka Fibrax. So, that is basically it. Let's go ahead and save this, and we will go ahead and get right into the battles. Okay, so here we are once again on Dueling Nexus, and we are going to go against a bot just because it'll help not deal with connection interruption, or, you know, the bot plays a lot faster than, say, me and you would. So we're going to go ahead and go to that, and the decks are always random. I never know what I'm going to go against, so we're going to go ahead and get into that. Okay, so we have our Fossil Warrior deck picked out. We are going to lose this rock, paper, scissors like we usually do. See? So let's see how this goes. Dragonuities. Interesting. Cool. Lightning Storm. Let's get rid of all these spell and traps. Nice. Okay, now let's go into Weather Soldier. And it's not Monster Reborn yet. Let's just go ahead and battle for 2,000. Sweet. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna want to do Mathematician, summon him. Lets us dump a Sentry Soldier of Stone, which will let us special summon it, I believe. Or only rock. Okay, he's a spellcaster, which is fine. Can't activate that. What about this? We can activate this. Or just Monster Reborn it. Let's do this. Use this Phalanx. Sentry Soldier of Stone, I guess. Okay. Now we can activate this. It's a level 4. We can go into a level 6. But I don't think it's necessary. 2 level 4s. He's higher, so we don't want to do that. Let's just go ahead and battle and see what happens. Okay, we got him down to 600. And the battle phase, he's down to 800. Well, this is good for us. Okay, so let's... I think we have this, but let's go ahead and go into Nightmare Phoenix. We'll activate it. Let's get rid of the... Let's get rid of Gamma Seal. We don't need that. And we will destroy this unknown card. Okay, fine. Now I'll show you guys what the time stream does. Tribute this level 4, go into a level 6, so it's 2 ranks higher, 2 levels higher. Okay, then we get Foolish Burial, a Century Soldier of Stone, which actually we can't because of the Nightmare Phoenix. However, we can dump the Century Soldier of Stone, activate his effect, and then we can Fossil Fusion. I don't think we needed it, but or we can activate it, so that's fine. What else we got in the graveyard? Let's activate that. Get another Fossil Fusion. Then we'll go ahead and activate Fossil Fusion. So we can do him. And we get our Skull King out. So now if we wanted to, we can go into Monster Reborn. Let's get back, let's do Weather Soldier. And the Fossil Fusion's done. We can go up into Nightmare Unicorn. Activate his effect. So 1 card to the graveyard, return 1 card to the deck. And not that it was hard to begin with, but there you go, there's a board wipe. So we'll go ahead and finish it off and win the duel. Now obviously that was best case scenario with the worst case scenario deck. Kinda. I mean, the draw win was, they obviously didn't have much going on for him, but I'm going to take it as a win. As you guys seen, this was pretty cool. Let's just go ahead and get one more. Okay, so here we are in our second AI match with the Fossil Warriors. And if we can just get this, there we go. Okay. Been pretty lucky with the rock, paper, scissors today. Okay, so let's put him on the board just so we can get a Fossil Fusion when it goes to the graveyard. He's gonna go lower and he's gonna get destroyed by battle. Time Thief deck, interesting. Effect Veiler, let's deal with that. And okay, it's gonna add to the deck, add to the hand. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we'll activate Extra Foolish Burial. Let's get the big boy himself. Monster Reborn. Why can't we get him out? Why can't we get our... I'm confused. Okay, I guess we'll take him. Supposed to get him out, but okay, so we'll get our Gallant Warrior, our Gallant Granite. Okay, activate by detaching him, and let's pick up a Century Soldier of Stone. Now we could summon him. Yeah, just in case he goes to the graveyard, and we get some extra battle damage in. We have Phoenix. Don't really need that now. Yeah, I'm really confused on why I couldn't Monster Reborn the Skullgios. Did it say I can't? Must be special summon with Fossil Fusion. Okay, so like I said, the Century Warrior got destroyed. Now we get to activate it. Special summon. Instant Fusion. Now I get to do the Panzer Dragon. Then we could go into Nightmare Phoenix. Well, I mean, we couldn't really use the Panzer Dragon, but I think this will help. Let's activate him. Get rid of that. And let's get a Weathering Soldier. We'll summon him. Go to battle phase. Hit over this with the Nightmare Phoenix. Sentry Soldier of Stone attack. And exactly 2,300 for the Gallant Granite. Alright everybody, and that'll do it for this episode of Dueling Nexus Duels. This deck actually synergized pretty well, and I'm actually surprised it won some games against some pretty decent decks. So let me know what you guys thought about it down below. What you would take away, what would you add in, what would you do differently. So yeah, just let me know. Give this video a like, comment, maybe a little subscribe. Help me out. I appreciate anything you guys do for me and help this channel to become what it could potentially be. If you are looking for individual cards, feel free to look me up on TCG Player. I will leave the link in the description. If you mention Aftershock videos in your prior to your purchase, I will upgrade you to free priority shipping just for swinging by and saying hey. And I don't think that's too bad of a deal. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.